Now, I feel like it's been a while since we have covered our wokety woke folk friend on the left, Greta the Grifter Thunberg herself, aka He-Man. If y'all have not been introduced to the new look, there we go right there. And if you're old enough to know who He-Man is, you have graduated into a different class of life. I'm just going to keep it there. Now, I don't know if y'all have heard about this entire FLOTILLA situation. Essentially, Greta the Grifter and some of her grifting friends on the left have come together and have embarked on a journey to Gaza on a little boat known as a flotilla, where they're going to drop off flour and sugar. Yeah, anyways, turns out that the whole entire flotilla experiment is not only a complete fail, but it is a literal scam. Now, before I go any further myself, I'm going to go ahead and just, let the story be told directly from He-Man's mouth. So, enjoy the ride.
My name is Greta. I'm a citizen of Sweden. If you are watching this video, I have been abducted and taken against my will by Israeli forces. Our humanitarian mission was non-violent and abiding by international law. Please tell my government to demand my and the others' immediate release.
Now, if I had an opportunity to send a personalized message to He-Man, what I would say is this. How dare you? That might sound familiar right there. That's a little throwback for y'all. How dare you, Greta the Grifter Thunberg? I mean, I could say how dare you as far as the entire trajectory of your career as a activist. Starting off, of course, with the weather, and now geopolitics is a place that you'll find yourself. How dare you? Now, here she is stating that she has been captured by none other than the Jews, the world's favoritist scapegoat. Now, see, this is not the first time that they have set sail. As a matter of fact, the first time out of the 3 times they've done so, they were indeed stopped before they hit the shore. And what happened there was Israeli forces, IDF, gave the people on board, or at least offered them sandwiches before giving them a business class ticket back home. That's what happened. They sent their backsides all the way back to where they once came from. That's the actual story. But according to the alleged Soros-funded Greta the Grifter and the rest of the flotillas, sounds like an incredible band name back in the 70s. Greta the Grifter and the wonderful flotillas. Instead, what they decided to do was to lie. Now, you may think to yourself, why would somebody who claims to be a social activist, standing up for the good of the marginalized and the disenfranchised, why would they lie? And the simplest answer I would have for that is because that's what they do. That's literally, it's a part of the entire package. A part of being a Marxist whack job is to lie. Simple as that. So, let's go ahead and get into the second clip, which is a video featuring one of the founders of the flotilla. Now, again, surprisingly, this one was actually not founded by He-Man, him, herself, they, themselves. But instead, there was one who came before. Let's get into it.
In Australia, his name was Michael Sheikh, wrote to a bunch of us. We were all members of the International Solidarity Movement. And he sent out this notice and he said, I had this idea that maybe we could buy a boat in New York. And we could sail it across the Atlantic and sail it down the coast of Europe.
Don't we wish they would do this as a collective and just go away? All of them. Just all the wokety woke lefties in one big, I'm talking about a Noah's Ark size boat, and they could just make their way literally anywhere else, I would recommend maybe Gaza. I don't know. Maybe that is their resting place. Maybe that is home for them. Maybe Iran, Afghanistan, one of these places that they would feel the most accepted and at home. The old gays for Gaza and the queers for Palestine.
Yeah. And then into Gaza. I was sitting with my friend Mary Hughes Thompson, who is the other major co-founder. The two of us started this, and then we got another 5 people involved. And I looked at her and I said, oh, let's do it. One story that I always try to tell all of you is that once we finally got these crazy boats, they were moored in Greece. And I was in charge of the media office. That's my background. And I was in charge of the media office, and we were all in Cyprus. And so I would put out a press release, and it would say, the boats are in Alexandria, getting ready to go. And then 2 weeks later, I'd say, the boats have moved to Turkey, and they're getting ready to come to Cyprus. Well, the boats were never either one of those places. They were always in Greece. So the Zionists, when they want to attack me, they do that quite often, say to me all the time, you lied all the time. I said, yeah, we did.
You lie all the time. Yes, we did. Now, once again, this entire flotilla experience for some, delusion, is a fraud. Now, sure, there may be people on this raft who are looking to, send some flour and sugar to somebody on the other side of those shores. But the reality is this: it has nothing to do with saving the poor people of Gaza, and everything to do with undermining the Jews. Now, if y'all want to see some of the things that have been taking place on the flotilla, I got a little bit of that too, right? Because if your priorities, as you claim, are for the people who are suffering, then surely you're equipping yourself to do all that is necessary to be there for those in suffering, your brothers and sisters in a make-believe land known as so-called Palestine. So let's go ahead and see some of the grieving that has been taking place on this. That's some grieving right there for you. That makes me grieve. But this right here. Oh, I can't take it, folks. I cannot take it. My spirit is unsettled. I am grieved on behalf of these folks right here. Look at this. By the way, serious question. Why is it that nobody ever gets in trouble for culturally appropriating this keffiyeh over here? Why is that? They get to make a headband bandana. They get to do scarvings with it. They get to do little cutesy little bikini coverings with it. And not once has a white liberal been called out for cultural appropriation. Ain't that something right there? Shame on y'all. Oh man, look at her. She's going through it. She is losing it. Look at this. Heart shattered for the people of Gaza. Look at that. I'm sure that if I was on my way to the resistance, I would be singing beep, 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 beep as well. I'm sure that that's what it would be. We would not be praying and fasting on that boat. No, no, no. Crying out to God to please be with us on this. No, instead we would be having a mini siesta or fiesta or somewhere in between the two. You catch what I'm throwing. Yeah, so it seems that the entire flotilla experiment/experience is nothing but a glorified hippie trip. That's what this is. Now, I came across another video that honestly cracked me up. And this was one of the first videos of them essentially being stopped on the water because they are entering into other people's territories. They're being tracked down by militaries. And so you probably guessed it, that's sus. So what do you think that these governments would do? Whether it is the Egyptian government or it is the Israeli government, what shall they do if they were to see an unidentified raft on the water on its way with a bunch of folks singing beep, 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 having halfway seizures, as this woman right here seems to be? What would you do besides stop them and interrogate them? But look at this right here.
She's a Bulgarian candidate.
So as you can see, that last lady right there, she tossed out her iPhone. As a matter of fact, I believe they all tossed out their phones. These are likely Obama phones or Soros phones that they decided to offboard right before they're stopped. I would wonder why that would be. Why would you, on this alleged mission to help these poor starving people that are being starved actually by Hamas, right, their own leadership, why would you have to toss any sort of possible evidence off of that raft? What's that about? Huh? What's that right there's about? What are we doing? Perhaps, maybe, just maybe, they would find something on those phones that would convict them. Maybe, just maybe, they're playing the old okie doke. I mean, as far as I'm concerned.
My name is Greta. I'm a citizen of Sweden. If you are watching this video, I have been abducted and taken.
Abducted. Y'all want to know the conditions of her abduction? Abduction meaning kidnapping, meaning she's a hostage, right? Sound familiar? Yeah, the terms are pastrami or salami, ham or spam. What would you like on your sandwich before we send your aces back to those original spaces? That's what the conditions are. So yeah, folks, don't ever be fooled by any of this. It's all a twisted game, every single last bit of it. All of it is being used to co-opt the narrative of what is actually going on. There are still 50 hostages. I pray to God that there's more. But as far as what we have been told, numbers-wise, how many are still alive? 48 to 50 hostages that are still being held by Hamas, who is supported, endorsed, and uplifted not just by many of the quote-unquote Palestinian people, but by He-Man and the flotilla. We're not going for it. Absolutely not. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Now, if you'd like to stay around, make sure to click that little subscribe button down there, or you can show some love by going to the description below and clicking on the button titled Buy Me a Coffee. Leave a little something there, or click on the Cash App. Leave a little something here. Till the next time, peace.
I've been up for hours, I've been up for days, yeah. Staring at the ceiling, I've been counting strays, yeah. I've been in my feelings, I've been out of mind. I've been getting visions of the other kind. Yeah, I've been up for weeks. I'm in the count of blessings over count of sheep. I can never be the type to limit when it comes to me. I used to be the pleaser for the people I ain't even need.